Hello everyone, welcome back. We are talking about channels. This is part 2 of channels. And so please grab your workbook and work through the prompts as we go through. You might want to watch the video once, and you might want to watch this video over and over again. I know I will. So watch it 100 times and then do some of the exercises in the workbook. You'll be better off. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today we're working with channels again. And first up, we're going to work with groups. And groups, it's a selection tool that's used for fast recall of specific channels. Groups of channels that we decide how we're going to put them together. In the system, you can record up to 1,000 different groups, although that would be hard to manage as well, I would think. So note that groups only are a selection and they don't contain any intensity or non-intensity information. So groups just recall channels, and then you give it things like intensity or color or whatever else it is. The group itself doesn't store that kind of information. So when we're recording groups, channels are stored in the original selection order that we selected them in. So the order that you call out the channels before you record a group does matter in recording groups. So let's record some. So we're going to record some groups in live, and I'm going to clear my command line, and I'm going to sneak. I'm going to come over here though. I'm going to clear my command line, and I'm going to sneak, and I'm going to enter just to make sure I don't have any data in any of the channels. The first thing we're going to do is say, type 1 through 10, record group 1, enter. And so supposedly that's gone somewhere. But we recorded those first 10 channels into a group that we call group 1. So now I'm going to clear up my command line again, and I'm going to type in 31 plus 33 plus 35 plus 37, record group 2, enter. So those odd numbered channels in that next set of channels are recorded into a group. Let's clear that out. 31 through 38. Offset, remember our friend offset? Even, record group 3. So that is a similar way of recording the channels that we recorded last time, but these are the even numbered ones, and we use the offset tool to make that go a little bit faster. So now I'm going to record 34 plus 31 plus 33 plus 35, you see what we're getting at, plus 32, record group 30. Oh, we're going to do something new. Label. We hit the label key, and we're going to type the label as effect 1. Enter. So now that particular group has a label to it. We also recorded them in a particular order. And so that when doing something like an effect, say we're doing a chase effect, 34, then 31, then 33, then 35, then 32 are going to be the order of operations should we recall this group when we're making an effect. So we have already set up early on how we might want those different channels to, turn on and off if we're doing some kind of an effect. Okay, so I'm going to clear out my command line, and let's work with groups here for just a second. So I'm going to type in group 1, full, enter. And you see it brought up all of those channels at the same time. So that's a quick way of getting a bunch of channels that hopefully all do something similar. In other words, because lighting designers choose their own channel numbers, we pick them in order that we can organize them later on. And organizationally, 1 through 10, maybe those are all of my face lights. 31 through 62, maybe all of those are we know those are all luster, D60 lusters, and those are wash lights. Maybe all of those are my wash LED fixtures. So we choose channel numbers that work together well so that when we're programming the lighting cues, it makes our job easier, and we can focus on the art part of it instead of having to just focus on, gosh, I can't find that channel number that I'm looking for, or what have you. Okay, so I'm going to say group 1 at 20 through full, enter. That is a fanned intensity, but it's in order. So we raise those channel numbers, as you can see, from 1 to 10. That might be valuable if we're working with channels and effects and things like that. So I'm going to clear that out, and I'm going to type in group 30. It's the G key, by the way, on your if you're on a regular keyboard. Group 30, enter, and then we're going to press next and last. It accesses the group and then the first ordered channel in that group. So remember that we worked with these channels in a particular order. We typed them in the group in a particular order. Let's see if we can get that to work. I'm trying to move that over on the screen. Yeah, I think you can see that. So now if I hit next, last, can you see it's moving through those channels in the order that we typed them in the group? So we recorded that group in a particular order, and now we can work with those channels in that same order. So I'm going to clear out of that. We could reselect the whole group by select last. I'm going to clear everything out, and I'm going to sneak 0, enter, and take everything out to 0. We could also look at the group list in blind mode, and that will show us just the groups that we have recorded. So earlier we said, where are those groups going? Where is there a list of those groups somewhere? There is. Type group on your keyboard. You can see we went into blind because the color changed. It went to blue, which means you're in blind mode. And this list allows viewing and editing of groups sort of at a time, so you can kind of see them all. Group 1 is channels 1 through 10. Group 2 is 31, 33, 35, and 37. Group 3 is 32, 34, 36, and 38. And remember, group 30 is 34, then 31, then 33, then 35, then 32. And we've labeled it Effect 1. In this way, we know we can recall a group to do our effects instead of typing all those numbers in individually. Another way to get here, I'm going to go back into Live. I could click the plus key in my tab navigation. So if I click the plus key, you can also create a groups tab. And now you can tab through the different tabs that you have open, including patch, which is in blind, and group list display is in blind, and that allows you to get back to it quickly if you are working with groups a lot. So here's another way if we were to create or edit a group. Now that we're in the group blind mode, I can type in group 4, enter, and you see it automatically adds a group for me. 71 through 82, enter. I'm going to label it, and I'm going to call that my high sides, and enter. So now when we go to the group list display, it's easier to see what those particular fixtures do. let's do another. Let's work with group 2. Group 2, enter. So you see how I've highlighted group 2. And let's say we want to add a channel to group 2. So I can just type in the plus key, plus 39, and enter. And it adds channel 39 to that group. Or if I've got group 2 highlighted and I want to take out channel 39, I say minus and look down here at the command line. Minus 39, enter, and it takes that out. So if you need to edit your groups once they've already been created, come in here into the group list display by adding a tab or hitting the group key. Let's work with group 1 now. Group 1, enter. 11, and you see my soft keys have changed down here, and I want to type insert before 7, enter. And so now it added channel 11, but it added it in between 1 through 6 and 7 through 10. That's that insert before. Okay, we can delete groups if we want to. We can, I'm going to have to do it from the, get my pop-up keyboard first. I'm going to delete, and then take that away. Delete group 1, enter, enter. And now group 1 is gone. Let's try it one more time. Delete group 2 through 3, enter, enter. So now those groups are gone as well. So now in working with groups, there is a little exercise that you can do. Please do that. It's on page 15. So in this same file that you've been working on, I'm going to go back to live mode. In this EOS level 1 programming, create these following groups for yourselves. As a matter of fact, I'll do it with you. I'm going to go back into the group list display, and I'm going to go along this list, and you can follow along with me, or you can follow along in the workbook. Group 1, label, front, ONTLIGHT, that's my front light, and it's channels 1 through 10. Group 2 is channels 31, group 2, 31 through 50. And the label is, 31 through 50, have to enter. Now I can label. Label downlight. Group 3, the channels are 51 through 62. And the label is high sides left. Group 4, enter. I already have a label for it, and it has the right channels in it, so I'm just going to change what the label says, and I'm going to call it high sides right. Part of that was already typed in for me. One thing I can do if I want to see a little bit more of that is I can come along and I can just adjust, just like you can in Excel or spreadsheet or lots of other different software programs. You can adjust what these tables look like. Okay, clear that out. Group 5. It's channels 101 through 105, and the label is movers. FOH movers, sorry. FOH. That's front of house, and I'm going to back up because that should be FOH movers. That's what we want it to look like. Okay, let's record group 7. Group 7 is channels 121 through 128, and the label is EOS movers. I'm going to assume that means on-stage movers. Group 9 is channels 141 through 148, and the label is side mids. I'm going to record group 10, and the channels in group 10 are 151 through 158, and the label is side scrollers. Okay, we've got a couple more. Group 20, enter. It's channels 301 through 312, and the label is psych top. Group 21, or I'm sorry, I typed channel first, didn't I? Actually, I didn't type in anything, and it defaults to channel. So if you don't type in any special designation first, it's going to automatically think you want to work with channels. So I need to type in group first, group 21, and the channels are 351 through 362, and the label is psych bottom. And two more, group 22, I want plus group 20 plus group 21. Now those groups are in group 22, and my label is all psych. And already we have that last one, so we can go back to live mode. So now we've practiced writing some groups. The next thing in your book talks about submasters. Because we're working with the EOS system at home, the Nomad system, we don't physically have any submasters, although we can bring up submaster control. Here's this particular submaster, which gives us a blind mode. And what a sub allows us to do is record. It's sort of like a group. It's a group of channels, but it's a group of channels that can also contain intensity information. So we could record a lot of things into submasters and execute a number of channels, including intensities, at the same time. So let's go back into live. Okay, so we've worked with groups today. Submasters are next. Because we're working with without physical submasters in the Nomad system, because we're at home, we're going to save how to program submasters until we can all take a look at the console together. As a matter of fact, a lot of consoles don't have submasters on them anymore, but the benefit is with a submaster, you can record a set of channels just like you can with a group, but it also can contain intensity information. So we often record work lights and house lights, things that we need to get to quickly and easily. We can bring those up on a submaster, and if we want to bring up that group of channels together, but we want to bring it up to 50%, or 40 or whatever, and we can drag it along using the submaster sliders, having those subs with intensity information makes it easier for us to do. So that's what we typically tend to do. Okay, next time we are going to take all the information that we have learned so far about kind of the basics of programming, and we're going to start writing some light cues. So that's next time. So we'll see you then. All right.